Not much had been going on. We received a call that the rescue squad was coming in. There had been a house fire, and they were bringing a victim. When they pulled up, I met them at the door and stretchered in this gentleman who was probably in his early 60s. What happened, he had gone downstairs. He smelt a gas leak. And when he went down the steps, he turned the switch on to turn the lights on. And that brief spark caused an explosion, and he got a flash burn. But it was such an intense flash burn. He had polyester pants on, and they were melted to his skin. He had a short sleeve shirt on, and it looked like his sleeves were just baggy, and that he had gloves on. It wasn't his sleeves at all. It was his skin. It had just puffed up instantly and popped, and so it was just hanging off of him. What was remarkable to me was that in spite of all the intense pain that this man was going through, because I spent the next several hours bathing him with ice water and putting cream on him before we transported him to a burn center, was the peace that this man had. He knew that he was going to die. And in 3 days he did die. Because burn patients typically die from infection. The skin is the largest organ we have, and one of its main jobs is to keep us from getting infection. It keeps infection out, and since his skin was virtually all burned away, he didn't have much chance. But he had a peace about him that had an assurance. Our family has been memorizing different scriptures, and this week we finished 1 Corinthians 13. And in 1 Corinthians 13, we know that as the love chapter. And earlier this week I was at a prayer meeting, and they were talking about different translations of the scripture. And as we were talking about these, afterwards, one of the gentlemen that was there was a biblical scholar, and he was mentioning how that one of the drawbacks to the King James was that the translation, for instance, of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, where it talks about, it utilizes the Greek word cherish, which is the root of charity. And he said, so in the King James it's translated as charity, but we know it as love. As though to say that the word love means more than the word charity. And in some people's connotation of the word charity, we think of just giving people things that they need. But in truth, isn't charity really much more than that? Because in truth, charity is actually unselfish love.